Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Tuesday night chat. We got an awesome panel again, as we usually do. We almost always have an awesome panel, unless I'm here by myself, and then y'all stuck with me. But anyway, before we get started, I just want to say Happy New Year to everybody. Hope you had a great Christmas, a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. Hopefully everything will be great for you this year. And I'm going to let everybody run down and do a little and I'm going to start with Blue 823.
Same thing as TR just said. Happy New Year to everybody. Glad to see the panel back up and running. Glad to see the chat room look like it's already blowing up. A lot of the originals and the regulars out there. Not really a whole lot going on. Just a couple days into the new year, and work has been kind of a bitch because I haven't worked pretty much all of December, and then I decided to go back in January, so trying to get back into the swing of things. One real quick shout out, a lot of you guys probably have heard of Serene Madness. I told him that tonight I was going to wear his t-shirt because he sent me a t-shirt for a Christmas gift, as well as a bunch of other stuff, but it is too cold in my basement, and I had to throw a sweatshirt on, so next time, once it gets a little bit warmer, I'll put it on. But I just wanted to give a thanks to Serene Madness to pop in. But that's all I got.
All righty. And we got J. Greg Campbell, who has been a guest on here many times before, and thought I'd bring him back on here and let him chit-chat away with us again. What's up, Greg?
Thank you, JR or TR. Yeah, I've been on in the past, and I've messed up in the past, but I'll try to be calm tonight. I don't really have an intro. Everybody knows me, or if they don't know me, it doesn't matter. There's nothing on my channel to go and look at other than some ghost stories on the playlist. So if you want to join my channel, fine. That's fine. Just don't expect a lot of content from me. I just like hanging out here on Hangouts with good friends. Maybe if I get a good camera one day, I'll start putting some content out.
Well, thanks for coming on, Greg. I appreciate it. And Rosie, you go ahead and you do an intro, and you can actually go ahead and if you want to start off with what you normally start off with your economics, so you go right ahead.
Sure. Hi, everybody. Happy New Year to you. And Jen and I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas and will have a spectacular 2017. I want to give a special shout out to a very special person on the side chat, Hidden Numismatist. And both Jen and I think I speak for a lot of people in the community here and on the Tuesday night chats, and saying, we're so glad to see you back and glad that your surgery was successful. You have been sorely missed, and it's wonderful to have you in the community again. Not much to add. Some new audio projects have come out in the pipeline. Going to be doing some moonshine videos coming up, and always happy to be here on Tuesday night. I think now well into our second year. I think it's been a year and a half on these chats. Well, it's always interesting when the year starts out in 2017. Everybody starts with a laser focus on the markets that first week of the year. And the old saw goes that as the first week of January goes, and as January goes, so goes the market. Well, some of these old maxims don't really hold water too much anymore. A lot of those are broken down. You know, if the AFC wins the Super Bowl, it's a bad year for the market. If the NFC wins, it's a good year. They always work until they don't work. One year it's like, if you're going to Atlantic City or Las Vegas and you bet on the roulette wheel and you just happen to win 14 times in a row on red, well, you might think that there's something wrong with the wheel, and you keep putting on red until that one time it comes up black. Well, the market's no different. And we find ourselves now in the investment world where there's a lot of things going on as usual. Interestingly enough, we don't talk a lot about what's going on in the UK since they're exiting since they had their Brexit vote exiting the EU. But interestingly enough, the FTSE 100, the Financial Times stock index, which is equivalent to our Dow Jones Industrial average, hit an all-time high today. And the exports and manufacturing are really picking up in the face of a markedly weaker pound. So in a way, things like this exert pressure on countries that are still within the EU, because they may perceive that England has an unfair advantage when it comes to trade now because they pulled out of the EU and some of the trade arrangements and restrictions. So you can imagine the pressure kind of builds elsewhere on the continent to get out of this EU system. So it's interesting to keep an eye on that currency devaluations do work, at least in the short term, but they do make it expensive if you're going to import items and raw materials. So things are definitely picking up over there. One thing that's really cool that I've noticed since Donald Trump has been in this interim before he takes office is he really talks a lot. I mean, he really voices a lot of opinions, and he gets his fingers right in on business. And today he was geared down on General Motors and he was geared down on Ford and discussing why Ford should not manufacturing capability in Mexico. And really by, I think, about noon today, Ford came out and announced that they're going to expand their plant in Michigan and not expand their plant in Mexico. Now, it sounds like a victory for America. It sounds like a great thing, but if you have a president that's in there and sort of on the levers of decision making with a political spin, and of course Ford doesn't want to be called out, or General Motors being perceived as un-American, but you start to maybe have some decisions that aren't made on purely economic grounds. And you may say that's a good thing, not to have decisions made on purely economic grounds. But I've never seen a president-elect so willing to name companies, Boeing, Ford, General Motors, and repatriating profits and things like that. So it's interesting to see. Now, in terms of recoveries and things like that, we continue to get some data that's good and some data that's not so good. I think we're all going to be looking forward to the upcoming reports of the Christmas season. I was watching stocks like Macy's today under pressure, and the middle market bricks and mortar places. I don't think it was a really good place to be in terms of investing with the Amazons out there, direct selling to the public. What's also interesting is that, as I said a couple weeks ago when I was on last, this market's almost gone straight up this investment theme since 2008 when we bottomed out after the real estate crash bottomed out. So we have to be really careful. And as I said on my Sunday bi-weekly eco investment update on the Rosie Murphy channel, you have to be careful. There's a lot of people sipping the Kool-Aid now that everything's going to be hunky-dory going into 2017. And if you're a contrarian, in other words, you think that sometimes the majority is wrong at the exact wrong time, then you have to kind of be on your toes and be aware that we could be coming to an inflection point here. So I'm being extremely cautious with what I'm doing here. So we've talked about trade and taxation. Of course, Donald Trump wants to lower the corporate tax to 15% to be an equalizer. You know, it's interesting. People think that tariffs and things are the only way that you equalize trade. If we bring something in from Mexico, there's no tariff we charge. And if we sell into Mexico, there's no tariff down on Mexico. But what's different is our taxation rates too. And our corporate tax rates are much more attractive in Mexico and places like that. And also the manipulation of currencies. Remember, we don't have gold we have no gold backing our system at all. So a country like the UK can pull out of this contrived arrangement of other European nations and basically allow their currency to float against God knows what kind of standard. But in reality, in this standardless world, you have another bogey that makes it very difficult to have good trade relationships, because currencies around the world aren't really fixed to anything. So it's not just tariffs, it's currencies, and it's also taxation, or another big driver of why companies move overseas. So if he gets the corporate rate down, we could probably all benefit from that and repatriate a lot of money back home. So in the face of all this stuff, just be careful about rising interest rates. And I've said repeatedly, you want to get your money out of the long end of the interest rate spectrum, bonds and things like that. So, okay, and I'll just look at the side chat. So, yeah, there's a lot of currency manipulation. Ever since Bretton Woods, Linda Francie says other countries might have low tariffs, but yes, they manipulate the currencies, and this is the unseen aspect of what goes on in the world, and it's one reason China has been able to enjoy that success, because on one hand, the Chinese are very clever. They'll put out news stories about how unstable the banking system is in China. And I mean, how unstable can you be with trillions of dollars of foreign currencies? But they float that idea out so that foreign countries don't put pressure on them to let the yuan increase. It's like they poor mouth themselves, they talk themselves down, so that you'll feel sorry for them. Like, you know, China's so big and unstable, if it topples over, we're all going to go down the shitter, right? But they're very clever in that game. So currency manipulation and not having a gold standard is definitely working against everybody. And it's like, we're going to be the shock absorber because the dollar's been so strong here. And I think our exports are really going to start to be crimped as a result of that. So that's about all I have on that. So if anybody has any comments or anything on the side chat, thank you, TR.
What do you think? And I think this is something Trump's going to use as a weapon. Do you think, this is the way I see it, I think Trump calling people out, calling corporations out, and when it comes to laws, I think he's going to call people out again. Do you think that his influence, I mean, he's not even freaking president yet, but he's calling these companies out and putting the pressure on them, putting the social pressure on them that actually maybe change their position or change the way they do things just to get good political or you know, good.
I think they do. I mean, who wants a president to come into office and you're immediately at odds with that president, and you feel like you go into the boardrooms and you say, you know what, boys, it's a whole new ball game out there, and you want to be the nail that sticks out to get hammered next week. Let's clean up our shit here and let's get our house in order. And think, we know which way the wind's blowing now. Maybe we better think about repatriating or doing some things that are going to have a feel-good factor for public consumption. Because I'll tell you, this is president-elect has probably done more, has shown more power in his pre-presidency. Most president-elects are busy putting cabinets together and things like that. I think Trump was smart to just get the smartest guys that he could get and say, hey, you know what? It's your problem to get this shit together now. Here's what I want done. Real executive leadership. So I think a lot of corporations are already swinging around, and you know, when Trump says something, they'll immediately fire back within 2 hours with their own press release. You see the way Ford caved in today. General Motors quickly came out and said their Chevy Cruises only about 6% or whatever come into Mexico. I mean, there's definitely notice been served that you know, he's going to put a patriotic spin on stuff. It may not be it may not be the most economically pure straight lace, but you know, it's going to make people feel pretty good, I think. I mean, when you also think about, you know, Mike Pence came in and told Nancy Pelosi, you know what, the first thing we're going to do is this Obamacare is going to be dismantled. You know, we didn't get elected, and then Speaker Ryan's like, yeah, that's history. You know, that's the first order of business when we get in there. So stuff's going to go fast. And I think they've told Trump, if you want to do stuff, do it quickly. Don't linger for months so that opposition has a time to gather their forces. It's like Roosevelt, you remember the New Deal, the first 100 days. I mean, they rushed more legislation in that people never even read. They just voted on it by the dark of night and stuff to pass it. So I really think that Trump's going to work extremely fast while he still has his widest power base before the other side has a chance to really muster any opposition.
I think so too, and that's kind of my point. I think I won't say he's being a bully. He's just putting people in the limelight, and it's like, look, America needs jobs. Why are you moving your jobs to Mexico and calling them out? You know, and then the media has to cover it, where he, you know, throws them in the limelight, and they're like, yeah, okay, yeah. Instead of that, we're gonna do this. You know, and I hope he does that with the politicians when he actually is able to try to get some legislation passed. I hope he holds these politicians to the fire and calls them out by name, and, you know, does his tweet or whatever and says, hey, you know, Joe Blow wouldn't sign this, and this person wouldn't do this and this person wouldn't do that, and call them out, and, you know, just throw it out there for everybody to see. Don't let it just pass over. Oh, this didn't pass. No, call them all out, hold them to the you know, the fire, and let's try a different path. And that's what I'm seeing now already, unless I'm looking at it wrong.
Right on to you.
No, that's the way I see. I think people are getting a taste of what's to come. You know, I mean, the talking heads come out. Oh, don't, you know, maybe Twitter should take away Donald Trump's his ability to tweet. It's like, hell no. You know, I mean, he's not going to sit there and twiddle his thumbs and wait till inauguration day to start getting the word out and the feeling that this is the way it's going to be. And I don't think America's seen a president like this. I don't know, maybe since Andrew Jackson coming in, just, you know, I don't want to say wild as a March hare, but certainly he marches to the beat of his own drummer, and he's not going to be called down by anybody. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I think he's going to call people out. He's already done it. I think he's going to continue to do it, and I think he should continue to do it. He should, anything he wants done, you know, and I don't mean this by, you know, like a crybaby kind of attitude. I'm just saying, look, this is what I want to get done. This is what I need to get done. This person is standing in my way. Contact your representative if he's in your state. Him to straighten the fuck up.
Yeah. There'll be a lot of pressure, direct pressure brought down on people. You know, you got to be careful with that. You know, if you pressure a lot of things and something blows up, then you're the one standing there with egg on your face. So you got to kind of be cool, I think, a little bit too, and, you know, try the closed door first, and if that fails, then, you know, well, you guys didn't get the message, so here comes the tweet.
But wasn't there a group of people that tried to get to Trump by shutting his Twitter down so that he wasn't allowed to, or they were trying to get something passed, basically, that said that, you know, no president of the United States has ever put this many tweets out. They don't air the personal affairs of the country out on Twitter. They don't do this. They don't do that. We need to cap what Donald Trump's doing once he becomes president. And somebody on his transition team basically came out and was like, there's not a chance. There's no chance that he is going to be capped off. He's getting, he's getting the word out there to the social media, which is now, unfortunately, and fortunately, it is the mainstream news media, especially if you know that it's coming straight from the horse's mouth. But yeah, I mean, that whoever his advisor was, I could have sworn it was within the last 2 or 3 days, came out and said there's no way that anybody's advising him to shut his Twitter down or curtail what he's doing because it's getting results.
Well, I think the media is the ones that they're the ones that absorb like the first shockwave. The Megyn Kellys, and now she's on her way over to NBC or whatever. The media, the New York Times, the liberal media, they really took the first hits in this whole thing. Not only did they think it was a virtual impossibility for Trump to be elected, I thought it was improbable. They thought it was impossible that he would be elected. And it's been very hard for them to come to grips with the fact that they don't have that power base of believers outside of big cities and places like that. Their message doesn't resonate out there. And I think Trump takes advantage of that, and he's got the media pretty much back on their heels, kind of spinning backwards and wondering what the hell is going on. And I don't think anybody's seen a style like this of just, I guess I call it the Rosie O'Donnell, right? It just, you call a pig or whatever, and even if you put lipstick on it, it's still a pig, and he has that tendency to just go straight to the bottom line on things, and maybe it doesn't have the most presidential tact, but maybe this is what people voted for.
And even on it, I'm not going to say a lot about it, but even with the situation that we had here where I'm working at, the guys that I work with and some higher pillars of the community, whenever they're trying to reduce the police force, we hit the freaking social media like no other. I mean, we pounded the social media, and
Sure.
We had hundreds of people showing up. I mean, hundreds to support us and pressure the council members, and we ended up getting a budget passed, which everybody's happy with. I mean, it's
Isn't that the way it should work? That people represent and just don't represent themselves. That they do hear the people, and they acknowledge that. And it may cost them a little more out of their pocket or whatever, but so what? The assumption of a lot of people, a lot of politicians, is nobody wants to pay for more, and blah blah blah. Sometimes, when it's been proven out here, especially in California, when you put initiatives on for 1/4 cent increases in sales tax and things like that to support first responders, and people always vote yes for it. So I think to go, we may not like the way the money's always spent and the overtime allocations, the pensions and all that, but certain things should be a no-brainer, Blue. You should dip into your pocket a little more, and often people are willing to do that. The politicians have to be made aware of that.
Yeah, I just think it's going to be hopefully a refreshing year, but it's definitely going to be a different year in politics. Something we hadn't really seen before. I'm going to be optimistic, and hopefully it's a good direction. And we'll see, but it's definitely going to be different than what we've been used to. The same old.
Yeah, it's not going to be dull, that's for sure. It's not going to be a Jimmy Carter White House. And you get a nice, good-looking first lady thrown in the mix too.
Damn right. Yeah, the best looking first lady I think we've had. You might could argue that
maybe all the way
JFK's
back to
wife.
Calvin Coolidge's wife, Grace Coolidge. But I'll tell you, it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting 4 years. I will say that. And I think more good will come out of it than bad. I do. I really do. That's just me.
No, I think you're right. I think it's going to be a very, very interesting year or years to come. We'll see.
I think it's going to be probably the most transparent presidency that we've seen in a long time. Because, Trump is going to say what he's going to say. He's not going to keep anything under wraps. And I like that about him. He just puts it out there.
I think it's interesting, too. He said he wants to start using couriers instead of electronic messaging to get things, which I thought was pretty wild when I heard that. So nothing can ever get wiretapped or taken out or hacked. And, it's like the old days of the diplomats with the black pouches and things traveling here and there.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I just really think it's going to be I think he's going to turn a lot of heads, and I think he's going to change a lot of minds.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's my optimism speaking, just trying to be optimistic and what I think could happen. But I mean, we shall see. But I don't give a damn what. I guarantee you we're going to have a better year than if Hillary got elected.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yep.
We can survive 4 years of Trump. Hillary would have destroyed the country. Plain and simple. Trump was not my first choice, but I like him a hell of a lot better than Hillary.
And I've got to ask, because I haven't kept up on it because it flip-flops so goddamn much. Was it the Russians that hacked the email, or was it not the Russians? I'm seeing so many freaking one side or the other, and then you're seeing stuff where news sources are coming out that are being caught using screen captures of a fucking video game, saying that this is how, like, this, there again, it's the internet. I don't know if it's 100% true, but there's a what the hell game was it? Something about like Fallout 4 or something like that they screen capped. One of the news broadcasts screen capped that and said this is how the Russians are hacking the email servers and stuff, and it's a goddamn thing from a game. I mean,
Not only was it from a game, it was back before there was color freaking screens. I mean, it was like green letters, like asteroids looking shit,
Yeah.
but yet
today, IBM 326.
There's been no proof that the Russians hacked anything. None. There's no proof being given that the Russians hacked shit at all.
Well, there was a rumor that Russia actually told us who the spies were. Did you guys see that one? There's like Putin points out the American spies, and it's like Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, and whoever the head of the, I think it was the DNC. I don't remember who it was, but I thought that was a great freaking photo.
Well, think about it. I mean, if you really want to look at it objectively, if the Russians really were hacking, and that they're not trying to hack secrets from the United States, because I'm sure we're doing the same fucking thing. Do you think that they would hack the DNC emails, then give them over to WikiLeaks to release, and that's how they wanted to manipulate the election? Really? Are you that fucking stupid? Does that make any fucking sense? I mean, if they were really hacking some fucking secrets, shit, I'm pretty sure they could come up with some better stuff than some emails in between the DNC showing how fucking crooked they are and then release it to fucking WikiLeaks. Really? That's the weakest fucking argument I've ever heard.
Yeah, agreed. If Russia's going to hack anything, it's going to be, NSA, something like that. It's not going to be the DNC or the Republican Party's emails. It's going to be, plans for the NSA has or the CIA has or something like that. That's what they're going to go after.
And what would we with
any kid in his mom's basement could get the emails from either one of the parties. They really could. It's not that hard to do.
They could get the emails, or they could thumb down the chat. One of the two.
Yeah,
but I mean, really, if let's say Russia did come out years from now and say, "Look, yeah, that was us. We did hack the email servers. We released the emails." What do we really have to be pissed off about? They didn't. It's not.
They exposed the truth.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at. I was taking the long railroad track around to that one, but that's exactly what it was. How can you get pissed off for them exposing the truth unless you yourself are corrupt?
Yep. And take it down to a personal level. If somebody wants to hack me, do they want my emails or do they want my bank account and my credit card accounts? Go after what's going to get you the most. My emails. Oh, I sent kitty pictures to somebody that I thought were funny. Or do you want what's in my bank account?
Yeah. Whoever did that hack was 100% out to expose these individuals for what they really are. That's all it was. I agree 100%. If it was something more, like TR said, and you both, it would be, you'd be going after the big shit and nobody would know that it was you, and you wouldn't have leaked it to WikiLeaks, or you wouldn't have, that's.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the whole story, and they're pushing this like this is some kind of national fucking security issue. They're not even talking about what the emails were about. It's like, well, we don't care that they showed all this corruption going on. No, we need to go after Russia. We need to start a fucking war against Russia because they exposed this. And it's like, where's your proof? If Russia was going to expose anything, it wouldn't have been this. It would have been something else.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would have been something really dire, something really nasty. Not that, Hillary Clinton was doing pay for play or however they was fucking wording that. If you donate to my, I will see you personally and talk to you. Not. You think the Russians exposed that? Really? That was an insider. Somebody gave that to Assange. However you say his name. WikiLeaks. Or somebody just handed it to somebody. That wasn't a damn hack. Come on. Hell, my bank account's been hacked. I'm on my third ATM card.
I don't have anything in my bank account, so they never fucking hack it.
I'm pretty sure if somebody stole my identity and took over my credit line and my bank accounts, they'd pay me $50 to take it back.
What kills me is the American public seems to be going along with this Russian thing, and it's like, really? Was hacking into our servers and stuff, it would be, or missile silo fucking launch codes and shit like that. That's what they would be going after. Not that Hillary Clinton was doing favors for people for money. Well, really, you think they would hack in and then release that? I'm pretty sure if their hackers were that good, they'd be going after some serious shit. How to take down our grid, how to get our missile codes, what is our defense system? Yeah, I mean, serious stuff. And then they wouldn't release it.
They don't need that shit.
You know that.
Fucking Clinton on a goddamn debate told everybody how long it would take if somebody launched a nuclear weapon for us to fucking retaliate. You don't need to hack emails for that shit. She'll just tell you.
Yeah. Exactly. People, I made a comment on Facebook about that, and they're like, well, that's public information. I was like, it don't fucking matter. She's in power. She can't, it is illegal for her to state that. I don't care if you could Google it and find it. It doesn't matter. Anybody that's been in the military knows just because this is public information, it's illegal for you to give it out.
Yeah.
You'll go to fucking jail for that shit. She should have went to fucking jail for saying that.
She won't go. She'll never see the inside of a cell.
She'll never see 1 day or even probation.
But anybody that's been in the military understands what I'm saying. I mean, hell, I've been classified. I mean, I've been documented to see secret information, you know, and turns out that secret information was fucking public knowledge. But if I released it, jail.
Right away. If you work for a corporation and you talk in a bar about something that's going on in that corporation, you're going to get fired and go to jail, or at least be prosecuted. And if you're in the military and you have a secret to top secret clearance, you can't even talk to your wife about that shit.
No, you can. You just got to kill her afterwards.
Yeah, you have to take her out in the backyard and put 2 in the back of her head. But you know,
and I just the whole in best case scenario, we all know it will never ever happen. How great would it be if Donald Trump, once he gets into the presidency, actually freaking assigns a special panel to investigate the Hillary Clinton thing and actually go after some type of a criminal prosecution? Do you think, because he said it would happen? I mean, I realize that he's retracted that statement since, that it was just more of a heat of the moment. You know, I said that I would get this special panel together to investigate, and if something was found, she'd be prosecuted. And he's since come back and said, you know, I would never do that. Wouldn't, I don't know. I think that the whole not transparency thing, but I really think that would help the American morale of at least the actual patriots, that if a president knows that something's going on, does this, if she's found not guilty, fine. That's our justice system. We have people get found guilty all the time. But if she is found guilty, she has to pay the price for it. You know, is it a 2-week stint in a federal prison where Martha Stewart stayed for a while? I mean, or is it probation, a fine, whatever? But just something to show, look, we investigated it. It was either not founded or it was founded, and this is the only punishment we can give her because of whatever. But she still is outed. I think that would be a great morale boost.
Yeah, send them to the West Virginia Baking Academy for wayward superstars.
Yeah, at the very least, put her in the same prison that Martha Stewart went into.
Yeah, I was going to say they even renamed the kitchen the Martha Stewart Canteen now in that prison. I thought that was. I forgot to send her a Christmas card this year. Shit.
Oh well. There's always next year. By the way, I love the Christmas card I got this year, Rosa. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Glad to have you on the list.
What's up, Red?
Hey, everybody.
Hey,
Red.
Hi.
Good to see you,
Our
man.
young friend down in Texas.
Yeah, y'all too. It's good to see everybody. Rosie, Blue, and then I can't make out the.
Happy New Year to you.
You too, Rosie. Who's the one on the dog picture?
Oh, that's J. Greg Campbell. That's me.
Okay, how you doing?
That's my
Nice to
icon.
meet you.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing?
As good as we can.
Good.
Doing great, actually.
Hey, Greg is the master moderator that's usually out in the chat room kicking the hell out of people.
Okay.
What can I say? I like wielding a hammer.
Not a hammer, it's a wrench. If you
Yeah.
can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Right on. I just like tightening up nuts.
Yeah. He's good at kicking ass, and that's why we always give him a wrench.
All right, Jay, Greg, I got a mission for you. I need you to figure out the ISP of this asshole that's doing the 32 thumbs down, even though it's a view every time he does it. I need you to figure out who that ISP is. Don't turn him into anybody, but let us know, and then we can take care of it ourselves.
All right, I'll give a good try at that, but I'm going to need some help from Gimp Geek on that. He's better at that kind of thing than I am.
I can hook you up with Snowden.
No, don't hook me up with Snowden. I got enough trouble.
Yeah, they decided not to come into the chat and comment, but they definitely been thumbs down in the video. So, but you know, fuck them. I don't give a shit. Whatever. It's a view.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
TR.
sure Gimp Geek has better sniffer packets than I do to figure that out. I'm not in the industry anymore. I've been out of it for over 10 years.
Hey, Blue, just real quick to switch up the topic. I saw that video that you where you were scared. That was pretty awesome.
That scared, that legit. I mean,
I
that
bet.
100% legit. What you saw was 100% real. That scared the shit out of me. I don't know if it was so much as scared, but startled, because it was just that. But holy fuck. If I would have been drinking more at the time I did that, I would have pissed myself.
I bet it caught you by surprise.
And if anybody hasn't saw that video, it's like a 2-minute video, but it was New Year's Eve. Somebody brought one of those not Google, Samsung VR gear things, those big ass bricks that you put on your head, and they look stupid as hell. And I've always thought that, there's no way. I'm never putting one of those on. It's dumb. Well, somebody's kid brought it, and I was like, oh yeah, I got to try this. I was completely amazed by the graphics, by the first one I did, which there's no video on it, but you're on a roller coaster and you're going through, and then like these big, I don't know, rocks or whatever fall through the track, and you fall down. And as you're going down, you catch more speed. Then you hit the tracks again. I had to take the damn thing off because I was getting motion sick. I was like, oh, I can't do this. But the haunted hospital one, holy shit. That scared, because there's nothing going on for like the first 2-3 minutes. So you kind of get, you get set into this. Oh, I'm just walking around. Oh, look, there's bones. There's this. And then all of a sudden, pow. And I was like, oh, shit. Whatever I did with my little karate chop move.
Yeah, that'd give me motion sickness, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I'd still rather go out and
it's
ride
got
the actual roller coaster.
Got one, and he said it's pretty insane. I mean, it really makes your mind mess with you. Like you said, the roller coaster thing, you feel like you're on the roller coaster. I mean, he said it's pretty freaky.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff that, he's been playing with it. He's supposed to bring it to work. Let me try it, but
oh, I hope he does.
The first thing I think of every time I see those is Demolition Man, the movie with Sylvester Stallone, when they were doing the sex thing.
Demolition Man.
That's what it was.
Yeah, Southern Style 357 just said you should try watching a porno with that VR gear. I'm like, I don't know if I could handle that.
You'd be sitting there going, oh, God, no.
Exactly.
But you know, how many of us remember as being a kid, if you sat too close to the TV, your parents would come up behind your head or come up behind you and smack you on the head and be like, "Back up, you're going to ruin your eyes." This thing is like 4 inches from your forehead.
Exactly.
I'm not sure it would ruin my eyes. It might ruin reality for me. It might be better to stay in the VR world. Because you have some control over that. In real life, you have no control over.
Welcome to the Matrix.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if we all had those on while we're doing this chat with TR?
Oh wow!
I know which picture everybody be clicking on. It ain't none of us.
Yeah, what am I supposed to visualize?
Yeah, I know who we would all be.
What am I supposed to see when I have that? Break it to me easy.
Now, once they get a Bluetooth interface between a flashlight and the VR goggles, then most people might quit their jobs and just starve to death.
Hey, I was going to say, I was listening to talk radio this morning, and they were saying something interesting, saying that the kids or the kids that are born this year in 2017, that when they become old enough, they won't have a driver's license because of our technology about the whole selfless, the cars that drive themselves. I thought that was pretty interesting. That if you think about it, the way our technology is advancing with those self-driving cars, I mean, would the kids of today that are born this year actually have a driver's license? It wouldn't have that same meaning for them like it would us. Like we want to drive, like especially back in the, I guess, 50s, 60s. The cars and all that, and it's slowly progressing. Like with Uber, I mean, less and less people are driving. It seems like.
Yeah, that's interesting, Red. That there may not even be a need to. Maybe just for some basic skills in case something went wrong, that you know what the brake is and how to start the car. But that's a very interesting thought that they're actually, hasn't it already been proven that they're much better drivers, quote unquote, than human beings when it comes to accident avoidance and things like that? I think there's only been like one fatality or something like that where a driverless car.
Right. And I think it's going to change, obviously, the insurance requirements. I mean, if people are not driving, we have to have insurance because of less accidents. I mean.
So what happens when all the cars are automated and the server has a glitch and goes down?
Oh, then we're screwed then, I guess.
Yeah, then you have, 98 fatalities and a big pile up on the road or whatever.
Right.
When you don't know how to. I get it. If all cars travel 55 miles an hour at the same distance with the same following speed, it's safer. I get that. But if something happens,
DUIs, huh?
Yeah. But if it happens, you need to know how to hit the manual control and pull over to the side or whatever you need to do.
Well,
I think it has merits, but it also has inherent dangers to it too.
Right. Well, you think
like
about the kids.
It's like Common Core education right now. Yeah, it works, but
I just wanted to say I work on computerized equipment every day, and it crashes.
Work camp. Time to get up.
Right on.
Computers crash freaking day. I work on computerized equipment. It crashes every day. There's no way in fuck I would let my life depend on a computer program because it's going to. I guarantee you, if anybody's been on Windows, if their router reboots, hell, the last chat I had, my fucking router was rebooting while we was doing a chat. So your car, go ahead and see how that works out.
Yeah, what's the old saying, TR? To err is human. To really fuck up, you need a computer.
Hey, I just watched Minority Report again tonight. For some reason, that movie, once it comes on, I've got to watch it. But there's that scene where we're so dependent on computers that you walk into a store and there's like these eye scanners and all these ads start playing. And then like if you need to buy a train ticket or whatever, it scans your eyes. And then once you get into a car, that car is programmed to you so that if you're wanted and or somebody's looking for you, they just shut it down and you got to kick the damn windshield out and do like, futuristic Frogger to get, to get where you're going. I mean, I hope
it'll make good videos anyway for YouTube. I kicked the window in.
I don't want us to get that far in technology to where humans have no control, because there is I don't want to call it a fear, but Skynet versus a zombie apocalypse. I definitely think Skynet is going to happen way before a zombie apocalypse ever happens. Something's going to happen to where we take technology so far. I'm not going to say they're going to become self-sufficient, self-building, IA, all that stuff, but we're going to become so freaking dependent on that at some point if we don't knock this shit off. Not our generation, but like Red was saying, we're going to freaking, that next generation, they're going to be so dependent on everything technology. If it does go crashing down, you're done. I mean, you are done. You have no money. You have no way of transportation. You have no way of communication because you don't know how to write a goddamn letter and put a stamp on it and send it in the mailbox. I mean,
and that's exactly, a good point, because, you think about our generation growing up. I'm 42, so I was born in the 70s, but everything that I experienced up to this point and anyone older than me, our kids are not going to ever experience those because they don't live in that world. And that's the sad part, is we're losing that battle. Like every generation that comes out, that they won't, they don't go out and ride bikes like we used to. They don't go out and do the things that we did. So
Blue, you have a very valid point there. If the internet crashed for just 1 week, how are you going to get your money out of the bank? Because you can't prove who you are and that's your account without the internet. All banks are linked up on the internet. And, even if you go into your local branch with a driver's license, they don't have your account number there unless you give them that chipped debit card. They don't know who you are. If the internet's down, you cannot access your money at all.
Not that part. I'm from a small enough town. As soon as I pull up, I don't even need to give them anything. They're like, "Hey, Blue, hey, Blue, how are you?" And it's like, "Oh, doing pretty good." But the thing is,
but if their computers are down,
if everybody came to that bank at the exact same time because shit started hitting the fan or computers started going down or whatever, there's no way that the banks can connect to their server to make sure to verify that you have that money in the bank, and they probably will not release the money.
Yeah, unless, like you said, you live in a very small town where everybody knows you.
Mm-hmm.
I live in Spokane. If I went to my bank, I've been going to the same branch for years. They know me, but they're not going to release any money to me if they can't access my account via computer. They're not going to. It's one of the reasons when I get paid every month, I go and pull out everything that I need that is not covered by paying electronically bills. That gets paid automatically. I pull everything else out in cash, and I keep the cash. I don't trust banks. My mother was a vice president of a bank, and I know how bad they can fuck your shit up.
I don't trust banks, but I don't trust people even worse, and that's what my problem is. I don't ever carry money. I don't ever really carry a huge stockpile at my house because I hate saying it because of the situation that I just said, because it could very well happen that if shit starts happening, I'm screwed because I can't get money out of the bank. However, people's houses get broken into a hell of a lot more than a major bank breach to where you're not able to get money out.
Blue, that's why you always carry bullets, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to say that, Red, you're a little older than I thought you were, so I'll have to give you a little bit more props on your
Thank you.
opinions.
Thank
I thought
you.
you were in your 30s. I really did.
You look like a youngin'.
I appreciate it. That's a life of non-smoking and not too much drinking. So I appreciate that.
And I've been drinking heavy and smoking hard.
You got half my life there anyway. I don't smoke.
I try to live a good life. I try to stay away from stuff.
The blues the young guy here.
Oh, how does it?
I missed the question. Somebody said how I heard blue, but that was it.
I just said you're the youngest guy here.
Oh yeah.
Really? How old are you?
Just turned 38.
What?
January 1st.
You're a youngin'.
Yep, you're 11 years younger than me.
You don't get this. You don't get this great. You don't get this great look by living a stress-free life.
That's the Bruce Willis look, I call it.
Exactly.
That's why I don't put my face on camera very much, because I'm actually 49, but I look more like 53.
Well, that's why I got a mohawk, because I'm 48 years old. How many 48-year-olds can pull off a damn mohawk?
That's cool. That's cool, TR. Yeah, you pull it off for sure. And with the rooster in the background, that's even does it better.
Yeah, TR, I could do that, except that mohawk would have a big bald spot right in the middle of it.
I would do a mohawk, but mine only grows here. I don't know how to pull that off.
Blue, I remember when you had that sock on your head.
Yeah, that was, what was it? That was the one night TR was out at a class reunion or something. He couldn't do a chat, so I just kind of jumped in and did a substitution chat, and I put the black sock on my head.
I remember that one. That was funny as hell.
Yeah, I actually went back and watched that. Yeah, speaking of socks, fucking Red, you jumped out already. I'm still waiting on the sock puppet while you're driving down the road.
Oh, I'm here. I just had a visitor in the room, so yeah, I've been meaning to do that little sock puppet, but I was like, I don't know, I'll have to come up with something one day. I kind of have it in my head. It's just actually doing that little video, but.
That up is because you've done a couple of videos where you don't see you in the video, you just see like your arm or whatever, and you're talking, and it's a good talk, don't get me wrong, it's a good video, and that's where that idea popped in my head. I was like, well, hell, if you're not even going to be on video, you might as well have a damn sock puppet, and just get a sock and just all right, here's what I think about today, assholes, and
I'm gonna do one with the little mohawk, and I'm gonna say, Rick, is your 6 covered?
There you go.
You know what? If the videos, just the content is good enough where you don't really need much video, you could actually corner the YouTube market on just one of them ventriloquist dummies and just sit there and operate it on camera as you're talking about what the hell over you. I'll bet you people would tune into that shit just because they're like, what the fuck?
I try to have some fun with the video. Lately, it's just been kind of more serious and just thoughts, I guess. But yeah, my older videos, for you guys that have been subbed to me, I used to do another character called Jim October with the beard and stuff, but haven't had any time to play around too much like that. But yeah, I try to have some fun with it.
Well, trust me, if you're doing YouTube videos, make sure they're fun to do.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes I may have a lull and you don't see a video come out from me. Do a lot of videos. I mean, I got videos, many videos that I haven't posted. But what I'll do is I'll go back and watch them. And if I don't enjoy the video myself that I made, I won't fucking post it. I'm like, no, I'm not posting it. Yeah, that video sucked.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I want it to be educational. It don't necessarily have to be fun, but it has to have some type of meaning to it. It has to be funny, or it has to be educational, or it has to be thought provoking. And if it's none of that, if it's just a boring ass video, fuck it, I just don't upload it. You know, and I wait until something inspires me to do a video, and I can look at it myself and enjoy watching it myself.
I agree.
If it is my goofy ass doing it, you know.
I agree, TR, and you're right. I mean, there's times that I want to do a video and I'm just not in the mood. I'm thinking, sometimes I'll get compliments saying, hey, you have a good attitude, but there's days I'm just pissed off as hell, or I don't want to do, and I don't want to come on YouTube with that attitude or that other side. So I want to try to keep it positive, even if it's a serious video, but just like you said, have some content where somebody gets something out of it, even if it is not so fun, but just some thoughts or whatever. But I try to keep it humble,
Right on.
That's it.
When it stops being fun, you need to stop doing it.
Exactly, and that's why I take a break from time to time. I won't do anything. I'll just watch other videos. But
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't try to force it. That's for sure. I mean, I did a video tonight, which I hadn't uploaded yet. I'll probably do it and have it post tomorrow sometime. Any reloaders out there? Mike Dillon. If anybody's familiar with Dillon presses, the inventor of that or entrepreneur that started the Dillon presses, he passed away. So I did a little quick video on that. I mean, stuff like that, it wasn't really inspiring. It wasn't funny. It wasn't whatever. It just, I guess, a little educational. I don't know. But anyway, when something inspires you to make a video, you do a video and you post it and see what happens. Whatever. None of us are going to make a fucking living off YouTube. I've already figured that out.
yeah,
we just do it.
Oh, TR, I was going to say on Sunday's night chat, I wasn't able to join y'all, but I did hear that discussion about the whole, Rick was saying, well, when I put videos on Facebook, how come it doesn't get the same likes? And like I said before, this is two different worlds. And you got the Facebook crowd that they don't get the YouTube thing. And then you got the YouTube folks that just get it. They want to see videos. They want to see what you're
Yeah, Facebook wants to see that real quick, the picture with the funny meme and move on. They want to like it because it made them laugh and they want to move on. Yeah, the YouTube crowd, they're more out to, I don't want to say get into your personal life, but even though we'd all kind of separate our personal life from our videos, you kind of get to know the person through their videos. And I think that's what that most of the connection is, at least with the people that always comment. And then you have the people that are out there searching because they don't know how to reload. They don't know how to do a water catchment system. They don't know how to do this. And they're looking for that information. Facebook is quick, boom, boom, boom. Videos. Yeah, Facebook is, I want the quick laugh. If the video is any more than 30 seconds, I ain't watching it. But I will say, which was funnier than hell, the other day, I got on my personal Facebook page. I don't have that many friends on Facebook. I have God, if I've got 250, that's probably pushing it. I keep it pretty concentrated, but I freaking went outside and it was snowing like a bitch and I was drinking a little bit. I know that's a shock, but I went on Facebook and I went to Facebook Live and I just started streaming a video of the snow, me sitting there smoking a cigar. Well, it wasn't, you couldn't see me, but I'm sitting there smoking a cigar. And I got the German Shepherd running back and forth, catching a ball. I had 109 freaking people watching that live. I'm like, what are you? And I kept saying, I'm like, what are you people doing? Get a life. I'm out here in the snow. I just did this to see what the hell would happen. And it was like I got 109 people within like 2 minutes watching me throw a goddamn ball to a dog. And I do a video on Facebook or on YouTube that I think actually has a little bit of meaning, or which I'm like, man, that was actually a really good video. 2 months go by and it has 30 views. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, there ain't no rhyme or reason to it. I actually posted a picture of my New Year's dinner, you know, collard greens, black eyed peas, some ham, and I had my 45 sitting beside it. 40 something views. Video, this chat, or in any other video that I do, I'll share it. And the only people that like it, 2 people. You know, 1 or 2 people, 3 people, and their YouTube channels. They're not even on in real life. I could do a video shooting the shit out of a Glock or something like that, and I'll get 1 or 2, you know, likes. Now, hell, 200 people may view it. I don't know. But the way Facebook works, that's what we were talking about last chat. The way Facebook works, you don't know how many people view it. You only know how many people like it. You know, thumbs up, it, make a little funny face or whatever on it. And so that's why I'm like, I don't even know if shit on Facebook really freaking matters. It may or it may not. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it does. You know, and like I said before, I try to keep the 2 worlds apart of my Facebook and family, friends, or whatever, and then you guys, which, you know, you're my YouTube family. You know, for some reason, you can share something with them and they will not click on the video. I'm like, click on the video, look at the video. Cause I share the projects that I do with them, and maybe 1 or 2 will click on it. But beyond that, unless I upload photos, then they're like, and they're, you know, whatever. But they will not click on the videos. I don't know what it is. And even then I'll try to keep it short, like a minute or 2. And even then that's like pushing it. I don't get it.
Do you guys want to know what really shocked the shit out of me was the other night, TR, during your chat? We're talking about the Facebook versus YouTube and all that other stuff. And freaking Teresa Blowin starts blowing up that he's got Instagram, he's got Twitter, he's got Facebook. I'm like, what the heck? I just thought it was hilarious because I won't touch. I've got Facebook and I've got YouTube. And a lot of people talk about that generational gap, and I thought it was great that Don's out there blowing up the social media. And I'm like, holy crap, he's like Donald Trump of of our group. It's like he's got everything.
Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious.
Like, who is this guy? Yeah.
I don't even know what an Instagram is. I have never had an Instagram. I know it's mostly pictures, and a Twitter. I had one for a little bit, but I got really pissed whenever somebody would say something and it would really irritate the shit out of me. And once I hit 100 characters or whatever, it's like, you're done. I'm like, no, I'm not done. I got to keep going on this.
A lot of people use Periscope now for impromptu sort of video live events.
Yeah, I don't have any of that. I've used Adult Friend Finder before. But
there's a shock. Chubbychasers.com.
Yeah, I'm like UTR. I'm not that hit, man. This occupies like 90% of my time. So I don't have time for other social media platforms.
TR hits Craigslist and he's like, friends seeking. What the hell is that? Sorry.
I got YouTube and Facebook. That's it. I don't even advertise my Facebook. If you find me and ask me to be a friend, I'll do it. But I don't even advertise it. You won't see any links on my YouTube channel to my Facebook, because people that I have on Facebook they're going by their real name. So I don't advertise that, because I don't want expose people's and make it any easier for some fucking troll to do whatever. I don't know. So I don't even advertise my damn Facebook page.
And I did.
It's mainly my friends, high school friends, and stuff like that.
See, I noticed that with the page that you have, TR. Again, not really throwing it out there, but I never knew this until maybe a year and a half ago. But whatever the page that you have set up, you have to be friends in order to see it. So therefore, it automatically puts that person's profile into that page. But from the page that you have now, if you were to somehow boot everybody off of it and make it your personal page, you can make a side page like the TRprepper Facebook page that you moderate, and people don't have to, I don't want to say subscribe to it, but they don't have to friend it. They can just like it and follow it. So you put stuff on it and it shows up, but yet there's no, I don't want to say a commitment, but there's no, I have to friend that page so that everybody sees me. You know, does that make sense?
Yeah, I see those all the time where all you got to do is like it. You know, like you just like that page or whatever. I just don't. That's too much fucking effort. I just don't really give a shit about it that much.
Yeah. I mean, I have a Boy in Blue Facebook page, but there's no requirements. There's no, you have to send me a friend request and I have to accept it. It's just anybody.
Here's the question: is how much on it? Is it worth the effort?
Well, I'll tell you, there's some pictures, like mostly the Facebook, like I'll put my videos on it just to, this is the videos in case you missed it on YouTube. But a lot of the time what I do is I put those little internet memes up there, and I've had thousands of views on just a picture, because whenever you go from the personal page and you make a page for like your YouTube, it'll give you the statistics of, it'll show you how many people saw that post that you put out there. So if I put a post out and let's say 300 people share it, it shows that 300 people shared it, but it also shows that out of that 300 people that shared it, 6,000 people saw it. And it's kind of neat to watch that go. I mean, I don't use it a lot, but I don't know. I think it's worth it for, like you said, you want to kind of keep your personal life spaced from the YouTube life, so that if people are subbed to your Facebook channel and they're like, oh, I recognize that dumbass there, that's Blue, and now I know what his real name is, I know where he's from, and it keeps that border.
Yeah, there's a reason I don't do Facebook.
Rosie, how many subs do you have on your channel? Like, what's your count? Just out of curiosity.
About 10,200 now.
Wow. I'm like at 947, I think. So I'm like I'm small time.
Yeah. Well, time to time. I mean, compared to some of these channels, there's not a lot going on in my. If I have fun every day, then I'm really happy on YouTube. And most days I have a lot of fun. So
that's good.
I love YouTube because you have a little more control over it than you do Facebook. Facebook is so interconnected with your email accounts, G+, Gmail, even Hotmail.
All right.
People that you left behind in the past that you don't really want to any contact with can find you. That's what I hate about it.
But
I made a Facebook account back in 2008 to keep in touch with my kids. And the first person that showed up asking for friends requests was my ex-wife. And I'm like, oh, hell no.
Wow.
But you can actually put your settings to where people can't find you.
Yeah, but when I first started it, I didn't know all of that. It was just like wide open. And I used my real name, like I do on YouTube. Why the bitch hasn't found me on YouTube, I have no clue. But
she has.
She probably can.
Mm-hmm.
Well, get back to the Facebook thing for us, and I'll have to. I may do one of those fan pages or whatever the hell it is you were talking about, Blue. But if I'm not mistaken, I'll have to go back and look. But if I'm not mistaken, I got like 800 fucking Facebook friends. A YouTube video, 2 or 3 people will like it.
Yeah.
Just like Red was saying, it makes no sense. Nobody will click on that shit.
Because
Well,
we're all waiting to actually go to the YouTube channel so we can make a comment.
Well, that's the thing about Facebook. It's dying right now. If you're really wanting to get an internet presence out there, Facebook is not the way to do it anymore. It's,
Right.
it's, it's Instagram and Twitter and YouTube. And YouTube's starting to slow down some too. But I refuse to make an Instagram account or a Twitter account because I don't want to know what you had for lunch or how big the dump you took afterward was coming across my phone every 15 seconds, you know.
Yep.
I don't want to be that connected.
You're right. I used to have a Twitter account, and it became too much. It's like you just see tweet. And I was like, I got shit to do, man. I don't have time to be reading everybody's little couple lines, you know, going to the mall or whatever. I'm like,
Yeah.
I think we all need to jump back over to MySpace.
Yeah, we'll revive MySpace.
Is MySpace still even around? I mean,
I think so.
Yeah, AOL's still out there. It really is.
Oh, who remember what was it? ICQ?
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh. But it is. It's kind of funny looking back at the different social medias, because whenever you had dial up and you had to freaking hit the button and then you got that weird ass sound and bong dong bong bing whatever. Yeah, there was
You've got mail.
Yeah, you've got mail. But there was a chat server. I mean, God, this was back. Christ, I was 18, I think, whenever first. It was IRC. It wasn't ICQ. It was IRC chat.
Yeah, IRC chat. Yeah.
I mean, that was like the coolest thing ever, because you could just be chatting back and forth with people, but yet you could set up not trigger words, but you had to run a code that if somebody said something, it would play like a real quick soundbite, like "you're an asshole," or if somebody said something, it would like trigger that. And that was back in the day, man. That was.
Yeah, you had to set up a batch file in DOS to run that. Yeah.
Oh God!
Look how far we've come along since then. You know, it's.
Oh, I'm telling my age if I talk about DOS commands on the computer in batch files.
Greg,
If you start talking about microfiche, then that's really old, right?
Yep.
Going to the courthouse and looking through the records, it's like, damn.
Yeah, you get the little microfiche film and you got that reader. Yeah.
Greg's so damn old, he had them fucking 6x6 floppy disks, not the 3x3. You remember them real big ass black things that were super
Oh
thick?
yeah, the original floppy disk.
floppy disks.
That wasn't the 3.5s. Yeah, that was the big 6x6s. Yeah, I will do you better. I actually worked at a job where I had to run punch cards into an IBM computer. And if you are old enough to know what a punch card is.
Oh, I know what a punch card is. And when I was going to Greenville Tech, I remember doing essays and using microfiche. Mm-hmm. Or when I was in high school, going to the library and using microfiche, you know, looking up shit and copying and doing essays and stuff. Yeah. His kids don't have no fucking idea about none of that shit.
You know, one of the things I've always wanted to do is find an old typewriter and then take it to my work, and then when somebody new starts, just put it right there in their little cubicle space, and when they get there, like, what the hell is this thing?
Oh yeah, one of the ones that was cast iron frame, and it had 4 levels of keys that were progressively higher, and they had the little lever that you had to pull to change it back to the front of the page. Yeah, put one of those down in front of somebody's tablet. Their Surface pad.
Mhm.
Set one of those up in front of that and watch the expression. Just film it.
Yeah,
Just
I took typing in high school,
Yep.
and you had
Did
manual
you look-
typewriters. I mean, you got like a 3-inch fucking stroke for every fucking letter.
Yeah.
Boom! You
I was gonna say-
had to fucking nail that son of a bitch to get
You
it
look
right.
like fucking a T-Rex with your arms up like this and going whoopsh, whoopsh.
Mhm. And if you type too fast, the arms that came up to imprint the letter on the page got stuck.
Jam. See,
That's where carpal tunnel first started, was with those.
Do you remember this? If you messed up, you had to white it out.
Yep,
Mm.
the whiteout. Yep. Before
Kids
the
don't know
IBM
about
electronic came out with the whiteout tape incorporated into it.
Good times, right?
Yep.
I'd actually like to go, not to sound like a Jared from Subway, but I'd like to go hang out at a high school like now and just walk up to random kids and say, "What's the Dewey Decimal System?" Just to see what? I do they still use that? I don't know.
No, everybody Googles everything.
Yeah, do they
Even
even have libraries in fucking schools anymore?
They're downsizing libraries now.
Yeah, we have one here in town, one for Spokane, one library, and their computers are still the IBM 386s, and they still use the card system, Dewey Decimal card system, where you have to pull the card index out to look up the book to tell you what row it's on. And nobody in that library that's working in the library is under 65.
Yeah. I say give it several more years. You probably won't hear much of any libraries.
You walk into the library here, you see a bunch of homeless people using the bathroom and getting free water, and that's it. There's nobody in there checking out books.
Well,
At
even
all.
the podunk area that I live in, once the kids get to a certain grade, and it might be 5th or 6th, the school now issues them iPads or some shit, like some tablet, which they're the property of the school. However, the kid gets to take them home. That's what they do their homework on. And I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, it is what it is. It's technology. But still, I mean, God bless America. That's just,
Yeah.
Teacher, my dog ate homework, and now instead of turning it in a piece of paper, it's all ripped up. I now owe him $600 fucking for an iPad.
See, my kids all know how to use a dictionary and a phone book, but my nephews and nieces call us up all the time and going, "Hey, Greg, Uncle Greg, can you look up this phone number for me on the internet, because they don't have internet?" And I'm like, "Use your phone book." What's a phone book? How do you use it? It's in alphabetical order. Look up the person's name. It gets delivered to your front porch like 3 times a year. Oh yeah, we just throw those away. Okay. A dictionary or a thesaurus, they have no clue what you're talking about. None.
As technology is actually dumbing us down.
Yeah,
Advanced in one way, but it's making us dumber in another.
yeah, the smartphones dumb down the population. Smartphones make you dumb.
Nobody uses this anymore.
Is that a Webster's?
Dictionary.
Yeah. What's 2
My
plus 2?
freaking parents. My parents have the whole flipping encyclopedia set of. I guess encyclopedia is not the same as a dictionary, but I don't. They bought it. Christ, I was like 8 or 9.
Mm-hmm.
An encyclopedia set, and holy balls! I mean, they can't get rid of them. Nobody want. I mean, they want to get rid of them. Nobody will buy them. And I mean, they're old. And I really thought that there'd be a like Rosie with her old record players. I really thought that there would be people out there that were looking for these. They were used by kids for a couple of years, going through elementary school up until high school. you can't get rid of them. It's like, man, I thought these things would be classics by now.
Yeah, I remember when there were salespeople that would come by trying to sell you the whole set. And, I mean, back then there was no computer, so they basically were bringing you all that knowledge to your door.
Yeah.
Now it's already there. You just type it and reach people.
Until the electrical grid goes down, and then, you know, what are you going to do?
Yeah, you would think you'd find some preppers that would want to buy them, even if they're old and outdated. A encyclopedia set from the 70s would still be better information than no information.
Yep. That, and you know, every prepper should have at least the latest copy of Grey's Anatomy and some kind of a survival book that's in print, not electronic. Because if the grid goes down, you're not going to be able to Google anything, you know?
Yeah. But that's why a lot of us, you know,
that just have books for entertainment, you know, with no TV, no internet, nothing like that. You got to have something for entertainment. Have a library of books to read.
How many of you guys taken the not ambition, but have taken the step to print out a first aid book, a how to do this book, a cookbook, printed it out and put it in binders so that if that ever happens, you have a hard copy in your preps?
No, I have.
Or how many people bother to have a decent first aid kit in their prepper pack?
That's a better question. Yeah.
I have a Grey's Anatomy. I have a SAS survival guide. I have first aid guides, you know, in print, you know, actual print. My wife's a nurse. She has a lot of knowledge, but if she's the first one to go down, you got to have something to fall back on in a shit hits the fan situation. You have to have something in print that you can go to. Yeah, they might die while you're reading up on it, but at least you have the information there. Read up on it ahead of time and get that knowledge.
Well, with Amazon, you can buy books so cheap now. I think it's cheaper just to buy books. You can buy used books off Amazon for $3-4 and shipping. You usually pay more for shipping than you do for the damn book.
Yep. Unless you have Prime,
yeah,
then it's free. But yeah, get some printed information for everything: cooking, medical, reloading, whatever the information you need. Get it in print, because first thing that's going to go down and shit hits the fan situation is the internet and electricity. That's the first things that are going to go.
Yeah, and the other thing is that if you know people, and I think this is where the information gets lost, like your grandparents or anybody has learned from them, ask them questions. But I know these kids are so into the phones, and I'm guilty of it too myself, but ask questions, you know, how do you do this? Or, you know, what did you used to do in the situation? It's like the kids nowadays, they just don't care. They're like, whatever. But those older folks, they know. They've been through it, and you can take something from that and apply it to today, you know?
Right on.
I mean, it kind of follows suit with even automobiles. How many people right now, I know TR's a mechanic. He's great with his hands. He's, you know, with that type of stuff. But if I were to bring my 2017 Cadillac to you to fix because I don't know what the fuck's wrong with it, compared to back in the day where you had these fucking books that were that thick, and it's like, okay, it's misfiring, it's doing this, and you had like this trouble guide that you went down through, and it's like, check this, and you open up to that page. You can't do that anymore.
Right. You can't, because the computer was here and you learn from it. Now it's like the actual computer you have to hook up to get all the readings out. So those days are gone of your local man down the street that will switch out the alternator starter. It's
too tight in there. It's too difficult now. It's all integrated systems with so much potted integrated circuits. It's impossible.
Yeah, I was an auto mechanic for about 12 years, and I'm telling you right now, there's computers that turn your fucking headlights on.
Yep.
Or you flip a switch and this electricity goes from here and turns a fucking light on. No, it goes to a computer. A computer then turns the light on.
Yep.
Whole different fucking world when it comes to cars nowadays.
That's one of the reasons I drive an 86 Suburban.
Yeah.
86 Suburbans came out with fuel injection in the latter part of the year, but the first ones came out with naturally aspirated carburetors, which is what I have. I can pull that thing under a shade tree, pull the engine, pull the transmission, do whatever work I need to on it. And it probably won't last through an EMP. It has a few integrated circuits in it, but I could convert it over really quickly to work after an EMP.
Mm-hmm.
And I can fix anything on it without having to go to a shop. I can go buy the parts and replace them and work on it myself.
I mean, it's just like Rosie with her record player.
Exactly. It's like the old stereos. I mean, I can get in there with a schematic and my test instruments and figure stuff out. You know, these days, forget it. With these, they pour that epoxy on top of circuit boards. You can't replace any components on it anymore.
And that's, I understand. I'm not saying technology's bad. I'm not. But once it breaks, I mean, once the newer technology breaks, we're fucked. Because there is no fixing it. You know, all your cell phones that now you use as an MP3 player, technically you're not, well, you can download it onto your phone, but you don't have that hard disk there that you put on the turntable that might only need a wire that vibrated loose or frayed that you just have to resolder, or a bad basically a rubber band that runs the motor. You know,
drive belt. Yeah.
And we're gonna, you know, it's gonna be a huge difference versus shit hits the fan 40 years ago to shit hits the fan 10 years from now. We're gonna be so fucked.
Oh, yeah. It's all disposable. Trust me, I know. I mean, like I said, the equipment I work on at where I work at, I'll open the panel up and it'll be just rows of them, and you determine which one's bad. You do with it, you take it out and you fucking throw it away and you put a new one in it. There is no repairing it. That don't happen. It's, you know, you replace it. There is no fixing the card. The sealed electronics, like Rosie's saying, and these little chips and fucking resistors and all this shit that's on those cards. I mean, they're done by machine, and they're so fucking tiny you couldn't repair them if you knew where the problem was.
And then
it's fucking impossible.
They pot it up with epoxy, and you know that's it. You have to buy the whole board and hope that that's the components. You end up being a parts changer. So, you know, give me the old stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, and that's the way it is with cars now. And to roll your window up in a new car, that button sends a signal to a computer to the window regulator to roll your window up. Where it used to be, it was just a damn button that went to the damn window regulator. Now, no, that button goes to a computer, and that computer goes to a relay box, and then that relay box goes to your damn window.
And back in the day, you just manually had to roll the window down.
Yeah, that's why I love my 86 Suburban. It has a handle that you can crank up or down. So even if you go into water, you can still crank that window down and get out of the fucking vehicle.
98 Ford.
What the fuck is the handle? To roll down a window?
My 98 Ford truck still has a handle.
I like the manual windows. I really do.
Yeah, we're screwed. A couple more years, it's going to be so technologically advanced that you're not going to depend on books. You're not going to depend. Well, it's up to us. I mean, it's literally up to us to instill this on our kids to make sure we have some of that stuff around. But somebody either put it out in the chat room, one of you guys said it. Amazon's a great freaking place to get cheap ass books. Buy them up.
Well, if I'm still around in about 7 or 10 years here on YouTube, I'm going to change my name to Robot Red just to keep up with the times.
It'll IA Red or AI, artificial intelligence.
Mm-hmm. I was trying to get my laptop to work so I can see the comments and then do the video thing on my phone, but I can't even see the sidebar, the chats or comments anybody's making.
See that? Skynet's already pissing with you.
Yeah. Well, my trolls did a real good job tonight.
Yeah, they did.
What'd you do to piss them off, TR?
I don't know. I started a chat.
That's what's so funny to me about the trolls is they don't understand that by thumbing you down, they're actually giving you more views and they're actually helping you out.
Yeah.
They think they're hurting you, but they're not. They're actually helping.
I got 68 thumbs down, so that's 68 views right off the bat.
Yeah.
You know, the thing about the troll things, I mean, I don't want to jinx myself here, but because my channel's small, I usually don't have a whole lot of those trolls that come by. And I've had some in the past, one or two here and there. But to me, it's like those people you can't reason with, you can't have a conversation with. And I tell people the same thing you do, TR, and that is, you know, we can agree to disagree. You might not change my mind, I might not change yours, but we can have that conversation. And at the end of the day, you don't have to watch my channel, you don't have to sub me, but we can still have a conversation. And they don't get that, I think. It's just they want to win, and that's their mindset.
Yeah, Red, you can't have a conversation with a troll. They won't have a conversation. They'll just go ballistic on you.
Right.
Yeah, a troll just wants to be a troll. They just want to be a troll, period.
Right.
They enjoy being a troll. The few times that they've tried to actually comment in the external out there, they always want to, their defense is it's their First Amendment right. And it's not. You know, I mean, you don't have a right to be an asshole on my channel. I can fucking delete, and that's why they're not commenting right now. I hadn't seen one fucking troll comment whatsoever because we boot them out as soon as they open their fucking mouth every fucking time.
And I don't get that. I don't get the fact that they have so much time or hate,
Yeah.
to spend that on people. It's like, is that person 16 years old, or are they an adult, or I don't get that. I guess they just have nothing else to do. I don't have time to be harassing people, and I'm gonna use this example, TR and Rosie. I don't have time to comment and say negative things about other people. I don't have time for that, and it just nothing good comes of it,
Yeah, I agree. I don't get it either, but like I said, I don't care. If you want to come in here and view my damn chat and give me a thumbs down, you just gave me a view. So
That's the thing. Trolls drive views. They actually do drive views to your channel. They drive more views than people that are thumbs upping. People that thumbs you down want to figure out why that person that they knew didn't like it, so they come and view the channel. They
Yeah.
drive views. They really do. Trolls are a good thing. They
And
are.
I think there's something mentally there wrong with them. I tried to have a conversation with one guy a long time ago, and he's still around, but I think we just kind of made our peace and went on. But I tried to have a conversation with him, and I could tell like something was not right in his brain. Like he just wasn't there. And I was like, I can't help you. I can't fix you. You got issues, and let's just part ways. And so that's what we ended up doing. But and later on, he told me, he goes, you're a good guy. Just I got some stuff going on. I'm like, hey, good luck to you, because I can't fix you.
Yeah, well, you can't fix stupid. You can
Right.
talk to stupid, but you can't fix it.
And you either
I've
learn.
had a few people. I've had a couple people contact me with opposing views, and we've had pleasant conversations. Actually, he disagreed 100% on stuff, and that's fine. And then they continue to comment on my videos. Not every video, just every once in a while I'll have one of them. But they're respectful. They oppose my view on something, and I have no fucking problem with that. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to fucking side with me. But we can, just like you said, Red, we can have a conversation. I don't mind that. I don't mind somebody not agreeing with what I view or how I look at things. I have no problem with that. But, a true troll is somebody that comes in and just tries to disrupt the conversation totally and be very disrespectful, very vulgar. And when I say vulgar, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, we cuss and talk about whatever else here on my chats. But when they're just being disrespectfully vulgar, then I have a problem with it, and I'm not going to stand for it. And your comment will be removed. Boom.
And you notice that they don't make videos. They don't show their face because they don't want you talking about them. So you can tell that they're a troll when you can't even identify them or they make videos. So
Now,
that and you scroll over their name and they have 0 subs. Yeah.
now,
And it's a name you've never heard before.
Oh, you got to go ahead and finish your point, Greg. I just had a question for Rosie after you're done.
No, that was my point. Is most trolls have 0 subs and it's a name you've never heard before, and they just come in and talk a lot of shit and try to disrupt the chat. That's why you have mods.
Now, Rosie, I got to ask, you're obviously transgender. You're very proud. You're very outspoken about it. Does your lifestyle, have you found that it brings in more trolls that you have to take care of, or is it just kind of like it goes in waves? Like you'll get hit and then it's like you ignore them and they go away, or you just deal with them and ban them?
I try. I have almost 5,000 videos on my channel, so it's always trying to keep up with what somebody can be watching something from 4 years ago. Tomorrow's my 4-year anniversary on YouTube, and it kind of comes in waves when you do hangouts and things. I think that's when it really brings in, when you're more of a public sort of presence. I mean, I try to get along with everybody. I have Greg moderate my chats, but sometimes they like you, sometimes they respect you, sometimes they hate you. I find a lot of times that the trolls are really good at sniffing out bullshit and puffery and things like that. And for that reason, they almost serve like a little bit of a check and balance on YouTube. Some of them are really funny. I mean, some can raise hell with your life, but by and large, they're not going to go away. And I've tried to have sort of a peaceful coexistence with them by trying to be nice to people and just you know, suck it up. People just comment. Well, I just let the comments go. If something's really hideous, I remove it. But by and large, people have their say. So I guess I'm just thick skin if you're transgender. So it's like this is just another day in paradise if you're dealing with trolls. So.
Well, I noticed that you had like your own little CIA operative group that once, I mean, if somebody really starts hitting the channel, even like in TR's chat there, that one night there was, that son of a bitch played hell with us. And within a matter of minutes, the people, which I won't name any names, but they're definitely most likely your people, had actual names that posted, this is who this is. This is where this came from. It was like, holy shit.
Well, that's what you have out there. I mean, it's like it can be a free for all sometimes. I mean, I was down at my friend's house having a hangout one time, and all of a sudden came in, and I usually have like maybe 60, somewhere between 60 and 90 people watching that hangout, and all of a sudden the number went up to like 958 viewers on the hangout, and you couldn't even post the chat. The side chat was moving so fast. There were Nazi things, you know. It was crazy over there.
That was a crazy night.
Yeah, all you could do was just sit back and and just watch the fireworks, and then after about a half hour, you know, they move on. But
yeah, they get bored really quick.
It can make your life miserable. So my goal is to just try to be good and don't get caught out bullshitting and stuff like that. And, by and large, it's okay. You know, you're gonna have friends, but you know, a lot of people are bored, and this is their entertainment. I mean, they don't want to do videos. They want to just get in the fray and be able to be anonymous and raise a little bit of hell.
Rosie has a very, very different approach to trolls than I do, but it's her channel, so I just limit myself to the people that are on the side chat. I will go head to head with them. I have all night. I don't care how long it takes. And the best way I can help Rosie out is to get the trolls, you know, focused on me instead of her. The panel members. So I'll piss the trolls off. I'll do it on purpose, and I'll draw them to me, and that leaves the panel members alone, and I don't have to boot anybody.
I'm sure you're doing it right now as we speak. So.
But you know, I'm kind of weird. I like fighting with people. I like going head on head. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't piss me off that much. It's kind of entertaining for me to see, you know, go head to head intellectually with somebody. What's your argument against me, and how can I turn that back against you, or you can turn it back against me? It's fun for me.
Yeah, I just think most of them are pretty cool people, and they kind of just use it for their fun. I mean, it's their way that they utilize YouTube, and some go a little too far, but by and large, most are very within, you know, what's acceptable, and it's just tweaking your knobs and trying to get your goat a little bit and stuff like that. And a lot, like I say, a lot of it's funny, and a lot of them have turned out to be really kind of cool people. And I guess I just try to get along in life, because you know, I mean, if you start to go to war with them, then you're probably going to lose, because there's, as they say, they're legion. So,
well, it depends on how tech savvy they are and how many people they have behind them and what they can do. But most trolls just want attention. That's all they're on for, is to get attention. So I give them attention on the side chat.
Jay Greg, you're fired.
They tend to leave Rosie alone, or anybody else. I'm fired. Yeah.
You know, like I said, most of them are cool. A lot of them call out bullshit, and you know, they'll hold your feet to the fire and stuff, and they have a very good memory. And I'm not glorifying them, but I understand them, and I don't respect them. I don't know if that's the right word. I mean, there's some of them with real mad skills out there that they know all about your life. They can buy, you know, printouts and stuff, records, and You know, some play for keeps on there. So, you know, a couple of times I've had to get an attorney involved through Google, but thankfully that was just 2 times and it worked out okay.
That's just crazy.
I'll just say that in what Blue was saying earlier, I mean, not necessarily tonight because they hadn't been commenting, they've just been thumbs down, and then there's no way to know who's doing that. Whatever, fuck it, you gave me a view, thank you. But when they come in and they type, they come in and really, for me, almost every chat, I've had somebody me and let me know who that was. And that's what Blue's talking about. And so I've been able to go to their original site and fucking block their ass. And evidently they can't fucking comment after I block their original account because somebody always calls out who the trolls are to me.
I don't know. I guess you know better not
thumbs down it.
I just try to have respect for people.
That every time I've had a problem with trolls, somebody has personal messaged me and let me know who it was. Their real fucking channel, their real name.
It was Rick. Is your 6 covered? That's who it was.
We all knew that anyway.
Pop's Quest.
I just want to break it to TR.
I'm sorry, TR. It's Rick and Pops.
Yeah, Pop's Quest.
They're jealous of your mohawk.
Backstabbers.
Probably Matt too.
That's why they're not on here, because they're trolling you right now.
Yeah, I hadn't seen Matt in a while. That son of a bitch. Maybe it's a Matt.
Well, I doubt it's Matt. It might be his girlfriend. Might be Matt's girlfriend. It might, just to keep him off of YouTube and spend time with her. Just my theory.
Yeah, TR, I've seen some, or your past guests, your panel. I haven't seen them on here like the same. And there was another guy, had a big beard, old-headed guy. I don't know what his name was.
In politics.
Probably so.
Matt.
And
Matt Guns Gears in politics.
Yeah, RTT.
yeah, he grew a beard, but he shaved it off.
Yeah, my panel has kind of, I guess you'd say, just like Greg. Greg used to be one of my regular guys here. And I didn't quit inviting him for any particular reason. It was just kind of like moving on to different people.
Mm-hmm.
Just a progression.
TR keeps a very varied panel, which is great because you get different views on every topic.
Yeah. I mean, anybody that's been on my panel, there's no particular reason I may not send them a invite again. Like I said, I was just moving on to a different set of people. Just like you, Red, you're new to the panel. You're just somebody new that I wanted your input, your reaction to things in politics and whatever it is. And as you know, the chat goes on, it'll be different people. You know, I mean,
Right.
That's just kind of how I've done the chat. I mean, it's not been a set schedule on who I'm going to invite, who's going to be on, who's not going to be on. It's just that I've kind of progressed. I mean, I've been doing this for over a year now, and I just kind of and have a different panel, you know, and that'll continue to change, you know.
What did you want, George?
And Saint, if you keep it up, I will block your ass. Comments out there. But I don't invite you just because just what I said. I'm just moving on to different fucking people. You know,
Don't let him lie. He doesn't like you. No, but I mean, seriously, I mean, like Greg, I love when Greg's on the chats. I love whenever I'm on the chats. Every now and again, though, even I'll take a day off or a couple of days off, and I'll sit out in the chat room because Greg is great with the chat room. I mean, he really connects with everybody out there. He's freaking typing. He's paying attention. He's being interactive.
He is.
Some people, not just Greg, but even myself, on some days where I'm just not feeling like I want to be on the panel, I'll freaking sit out in the chat room and I'll just interact with people in the chat and throw some questions to the panel. But Greg, very good at that. He really,
And TR, I was going to say, you know, like you said, I know there comes a time, you know, everything changes, you move on. So I certainly won't get my feelings hurt if, you know, you don't send me the link, but I'll certainly watch. But I don't purposely come in late because I want to, you know, come late to the club or anything like that. It's just I get caught up in stuff. But anytime I can join, I'll join in or jump in. But the projects have been picking up, so I was able to make it Sunday. And of course, I came in late today because I'm trying to finish up another one for another customer, I guess. But I enjoy coming on here, you know, when I can.
well, Red, like I said, yeah, but you're kind of to many of us, you're new to YouTube. You took off and you done good, and you're out there. I mean, you have you got a new perspective, a new look, a different look, a different perspective. You hadn't been around like the rest of us. You on here. I understand that you can't be on here every night that I send you a link, and you may not be able to join when I send you a link. I mean, there's just so many fucking different people on YouTube. Panel right here. I got Greg. I got you, Red, fairly new to YouTube. I got Rosie. I got myself. It's been on YouTube for several years. And we get a different mix of people and ideas, and we can sit here and have a really good conversation and not piss each other off. We just want to talk. And this is why I do this. If that makes any sense. I don't know if I did or not.
We talk like people used to talk back in the day. You actually have conversations, not just texting each other.
Well, I think we all care about the future, so we're vitally interested in which way this nation's going, as opposed to just having our heads down on our cell phones and punching away on things. We do raise our heads up and look at the world around us and try to observe and draw conclusions and make people aware of things that they may not be aware of on this chat.
Yeah.
J. Greg, if you're still on, I actually muted you because I don't know if you put your mic down, but it was doing a lot of feedback. So if you're trying to talk, you have to unmute yourself.
No problem, man. Just you know, playing around out here in the side chat, and yeah, I forgot to mute myself. The wife came into the room, so sorry for the conversation. Yes, Hidden, I get muted from time to time.
Oh, no. It wasn't anything against J. Greg that he got muted. It was almost like he had to listen to a different conversation, and he took his earplugs out or whatever and set it down right next to his microphone. It was like, shit. And I just hurried up and muted him. It was nothing against him like he was saying anything bad. It was, yes, boot me. Come on, TR, do it. But it's about a quarter till midnight. I got to be to work at 8. So, guys, I'm going to have to wrap this up relatively quickly.
All right, yeah. It's time to end this. It's been 2 hours. And so it's actually been exactly 2 hours. because I think I started it at 9:45. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Blue, you go ahead and do an outro, and I'll go down the line.
All right, real quick, guys out in the side chat, you guys have been doing an awesome job. We have 60 people that are watching, and I had made a mention that Jay Greg was like, he's like an external chat master that he, it's all of you guys out there, because we can't keep up with it all the time, but we see what you're saying out there, and a lot of times we'll switch our conversation to what's going on in the external. So all you guys out there, thanks for joining us every week. You guys are great. TR, you've got a great panel. You've got a great chat. Sundays and Tuesdays, you own the night, at least in our little circle. So well done to you, TR, and you guys out in the side chat. Well done. If not for you guys, we sure as hell would not be doing this. Good night.
Yeah, no kidding. If we didn't have the audience that we have, I would have quit this a long time ago.
Be like, what the hell am I doing here for myself?
Greg, would you like to do an outro, man? Maybe not. Did he walk away? Red October, would you like to do an outro, man? Talk about your channel a little bit.
Yeah, Red October. I don't know if there's a link in the description or not, but come by, stop by the channel. I talk about just different things. Lately, I've been working on projects, as that's my goal for this year, is to, and I've actually got quite a few orders recently. People have been emailing me in my local area, so been really busy with that. I try to upload some fun videos, so you can stop by, check out Red October's channel, and I welcome anybody. No trolls, please. I don't have time for that. So, but thanks, TR, and thanks to everybody out in the panel or the chat.
Rosie, would you like to do an outro and talk about your channel?
Thanks everybody for having me on as usual. TR, I always appreciate being here. You've got a really great side chat too over here, and I had a chance over the holiday. A lot of people ask about where Jen and I live in our home here. Over the holiday, I was able to put together, I took some time off YouTube Hangouts and YouTube in general, but I was able to put together a 5-year video showing 5 years of renovation and restoration here on the rancho. You may enjoy seeing the gut job that we did on this place and turning it around, and also some bathroom renovations, and also managed to get out a new vintage audio restoration video too. So besides the usual cheesecake bullshit on there, there's some meaty stuff on there too that you may enjoy. But I hope everybody has a real happy new year, and stay healthy, and may all your dreams come true.
I just want to thank you for coming on, Rosie. I appreciate it. For those that don't know, maybe you're new to YouTube or new to my chats, Rosie has been with me for over a year now on the Tuesday night chat, and big plus, a big asset to the Tuesday night chat, and bringing a lot of people over and giving us a lot of really good information. And I just want to thank you, Rosie. And hopefully we can continue on. So with that, I'm going to end this, and thank you for coming by. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us. I know we had we don't even have to talk about it, but anyway, thanks. That's all I want to say, and we'll see you next Tuesday night at 9:30 Eastern. And for those that can come by Sunday night, I'll have my chat at 9:30 Sunday night. So see you then. Goodbye, everybody.
See you later, everybody.